metaphors, it's got to be one of the least enjoyable things. After all, they made Cinderella do it, didn't they? Because nobody really likes to clean the floors. However, most of us love the feeling of having clean floors. So in order to get to the end result, we've got to do something in the middle, and you might as well do it the easiest and most effective way that you can. And I certainly think that the mop series that we have here right now is a really great way to do it. Now what we have is a fabulous bucket. This is a deluxe version of the bucket because it comes with the wheels and it comes with the handle. I'm going to show you that in a moment because as we know, when we mop, there's nothing worse than the drudgery of having to pick it up, carry it to the next point, you know, all of that slopping around that goes along with it. It means that it makes it that much more tiresome. So if you've got wheels to pull along with, that's fab. Hey, listen, now I've said I was going to show you later, but let me just show you now while we're here. What you do is just lift up your little handle, and it is spring-loaded, as you could see by the way it flicked back, and then you can just pull your bucket around wherever you want to go. No more having to pick up a heavy bucket laden with water to move it from place to place. Now, inside here, we have our spinning section, if you like, and what you've got is, by the way, you've got a little handle there, so you can still pick it up if you want to. What you've got here is this extra special zooming mechanism, which means that it spins and it's going to get your mop head really dry. Now we're looking at microfiber here, and it means that you can control the amount of water that's in your mop head. Now what I found really fabulous about using this type of mop, as distinct from stinky old fashioned string mops or sponge mops, is that it's really easy to move around, because what you get, let's say for example that's the side of your cupboard, what you end up with is all of these little fibres dragging right along the underside of, we call it your kickboard, don't we? Instead of missing that critical gap between the floor and your kickboard, you're going to get right up to the edge of it. And that's going to be the same when you're cleaning around the toilet, when you're cleaning around the bathtub. You can get a really good close clean that you may not otherwise get with traditional types of mops. So this is fabulous. Now the other thing about this, you do get the second mop head with it, and these can just be washed and reused. So you can always have a nice clean one ready to go. So wash one and then have your clean one ready to go. Now, the main, by the way, note this little trick here. This is a little plug that comes out of your bucket. So once you get it into the sink, that's my hair there, sorry about that. You can just pull out the plug and all the water will drain away. You no longer have to struggle lifting the bucket once you've got it over the laundry tub. Or if you want to take it out into the garden, you can just let it go and let it go out onto the grass. Now, what you've got here is a system, I keep trying to get to the mop and then I keep thinking of all the other little extras. You've also got a little detergent bottle as well that you can fill up so that as you go along, you can just dispense it straight in like so. But the magic with these, aside from all those extras which make it even more special, is the way that it actually spins the mop head. So I'm going to actually have to do it wet because you can't, the little fibres sit up a bit more obviously when they're dry. But the main idea of it is that once you mop, you just release your little lock and then you push and it spins the mop, which means that when the mop gets onto the floor, it's quite dry. So it's moist enough to clean the floor, but dry enough to stop you having a big, sloppy, wet mess, which not only dries badly, but takes a long time to dry. So that's why you use the spinner, and I'll show you when I add the water in. But I also wanted to hold off putting the water in so I can show you inside the bucket, because by the same way that you can spin the mop to dry it out, you can spin the mop to clean it within the water so that you're circulating the water around the mop head. And you do that, let me try and demonstrate it this way, by popping the mop over that little notch that we saw, and then, it's hard to do upside down, but bear with me, then, let me do it like this, then you can just zhuzh it through the water in exactly the same motion. Picture, if you will, that mop head spinning in the water. What's it going to do? It's going to release any of the little bits that the mop head's picked up while cleaning the floor. It's going to release them back into the bucket of water and drop them down to the bottom of the bucket, meaning that the mop that you pick up is going to have less residue in it and be ready to clean to the best of its ability. So, should we move on? I'll just add a bit of water. I don't know if I've got enough water here, but actually you only fill this about half. You don't need to fill it any more than that. There is a high water line inside the bucket as well. So So what we'll do is we'll pop it in. I don't think I can actually get enough water on it though. Might need to get another bit of water in there. So you can hear the water sopping around, and probably needs to be a bit fuller than that, but it'll do enough for our demonstration. So that's what your mop looks like when it comes out. And then all you do is just take it over to here, drop it in like so. You can see all the fibres drop in. Make sure it's unlocked. If you get it home and you go, why isn't it working? It's got to be unlocked, okay? And then you just spin it like so. Now you saw that dripping wet mop, didn't you, when I took it out of the water? And the more you spin it, the drier it will be. And then you lift it out, and instead of dropping a sloppy, wet mop onto the floor, you have this. And you can see, look, it's just damp. It's not dripping. And that means that then when you drop it on the floor to go and clean it, you are going to have a lovely damp surface that's going to do its job. It's going to move around the detergent. If you even want detergent on there, you may not even need it if you're just doing a little refresh, because this is just going to give you a lovely little wipe over like so. And remember what I said about the way it spins? So as you move it, it's going to spin along, it's going to grab those edges, it's going to do a really good job around all of those hard to reach surfaces. Then you just pop it back into the bucket, like so, and then, did I unlock it? I didn't lock it even before. I should have locked it when I was cleaning with it. Spin it through the water, drop it back into the top like we did previously, spin it again, and off you go. How easy is that? So but what the main thing here is that you can spin it. You can control the wetness of the mop. You can also wash the heads, and it's microfiber. It's going to pick up all sorts of things off the floor, and it makes it really simple with the bucket with the wheels.